Hi, it's Grandma, and I'm going to tell you a story about the adventures of the tough kids. Now, who are the tough kids? You say, well, they are the strongest, the fastest, the smartest, and the toughest kids in the whole wide world. Today's adventure is going to be about an African safari. Well, who are the tough kids? Well, let me introduce them to you. The oldest and the biggest and the strongest of all the tough kids is a little boy named Noah. He is so strong and so clever. He can solve any puzzle and he can lift heavy things. The second of the tough kids is a cute little blonde-haired boy named Roger. And Roger is the fastest runner. He can outrun a cheetah. And he's an amazing jumper. He can jump from very high things and not even get scared. The next amazing tough kid is Rudy. And Rudy is the best climber you've ever seen. He can hold his breath and swim underwater too. He's a great swimmer. He's a tough kid. And the last of the four tough kids is the most beautiful little girl, the only girl in the tough kids. And her name is Sawyer. Sawyer loves all animals. And she sings and she dances and she's very strong. So today we're going to talk about an African safari. The tough kids go on an African safari. Now the tough kids and their whole family decided to go on an African safari. So they got on a plane with all their family and their grandma and grandpa, and they flew on the airplane to Africa, where a lot of animals are. And they got off the plane and their mommy and daddy said, we're going to take all the babies and we're going to go get on a safari bus and go on an African safari. You four stay here with Grandma and get some rest. And Grandpa said, well, I want to go on the African safari. Grandma said, you go. I'm staying with the tough kids. And we're just going to stay here and play with these toys while you go off on an African safari. Well, the tough kids weren't very happy about being left behind, but they're very obedient. So they said, okay. So the mommies and daddies took all the little kids and they went on an African safari with Grandpa. And Grandma just sat down and was playing with the tough kids, and they started playing with their Legos, and they were playing so nicely together. Grandma was having a little trouble with jet lag from that long plane ride, so she just thought maybe she would sit and close her eyes for 1 little minute and just get a little rest. And pretty soon, Grandma was sound asleep. Well, the tough kid said, you know what? We want to have an African adventure. Let's go on an African adventure. So very quiet, they snuck by Grandma. Shh, not to wake her. They snuck by Grandma and they went out into the African jungle. Wait, they said, we got to take our tools with us. We might need a rope. We might need a flashlight. We might need some snacks in case we get hungry. So they packed a little backpack with some rope and a flashlight and some snacks, and they went off into the jungle. No sooner had they gotten out into the jungle than they heard a very loud roar. What could that be? Tough kids looked around, and coming down the sidewalk was a huge gorilla. It was a gorilla beating his chest like this. Roar. What should we do? What should we do? Roger said, I will take the banana from the snack pack. And he grabbed the banana and he said, I will lead the gorilla away from the rest of you because I am such a fast runner that the gorilla can't catch me. So Rudy ran off in another direction. He said, while I go make the gorilla run after me, you guys go hide. So Rudy grabbed the banana and he waved it in front of the gorilla and he said, you can't catch me. Shoo! He took off like a cheetah. Whoa, that gorilla was not happy. Rah! He chased Roger, but Roger was too fast for him and that gorilla couldn't catch him. And while Roger ran this way and the gorilla ran this way, the tough kids all ran that way. Roger said, I'll meet you back by the trees. So Roger led that gorilla on a merry goose chase, and that gorilla never did catch that speedy Roger. So then he came clear back around, and he met everybody at the trees, and everybody said, yay for Roger! He's so fast. So as they were walking along, there was a big river. There was no way to cross the river. They threw rocks and put sticks down, and the river was fast, and the river was deep. And they said, oh, we don't know how to cross the river. What are we going to do? And Rudy said, no, don't worry. I'm a great swimmer. So Rudy took the rope out of the backpack, and he tied it around his tummy. And he said, I'm going to jump in and swim across the river with this rope. And everybody said, "Are you sure, Rudy? Is that not too scary?" And Rudy said, "No, it's not too scary. I'm a strong swimmer. I swim like a fish." So Rudy tied the rope around his tummy and he jumped in the water and he kicked his legs and he swam his arm and he held his breath a long time. And they all looked. Rudy was underwater. He was underwater for a long time, but Rudy can hold his breath for a long time. So he swam across the river just like a fish. And the next thing they saw, pop, his head popped up on the other side. Yay for Rudy! He swam across the river. So Rudy took the rope out and he tied it to a tree. And he said, "I'm going to hang on to this rope. You can each hold on to the rope. If you don't know how to swim strong, you just hold on to the rope and I'll pull you across the river." So all three of the other tough kids hanging onto the rope. And they crossed across the river and they got safe to the other side. Oh, what an adventure they were having. So they were cheering and so glad they got across the river when all of a sudden they heard another roar. Oh, they recognized that sound. That was a tiger. A big tiger. Out of the side of their eyes, they saw that tiger and it was coming running right towards them. Well, those four tough kids are super fast runners, so they ran as fast as they could and they jumped into a hole underneath a tree by a log. And they're so little they could get underneath there. And that tiger came chasing them and he tried to swat at him and he tried to get him, but they were hiding in there. Oh no! What could the tough kids do? If they came out of the hole, the tiger would get them. They didn't know what to do. But remember, Noah is a very clever puzzle solver, and he had an idea. He said, "Sawyer, you know all the words to all the Disney songs, and you can sing like an angel. While we're hiding in this tree, Sawyer, you start to sing your favorite songs, your favorite Disney songs, and you sing, and we'll see what happens to that tiger." So Sawyer started to sing. "I can show you the world, shining, shimmering, splendid." And she sang with her beautiful little angel voice. And pretty soon the tiger quit roaring. Rawr! And he started to listen to the beautiful song that Sawyer was singing from underneath the tree. And pretty soon the tiger stopped pacing. And he sat down to rest. Pretty soon he laid down his big tiger head on the ground. And Sawyer had sung the big scary tiger sound asleep with her pretty little voice. So the four tough kids snuck out from underneath the tree and they took off running before the tiger could wake up. But as they were running, they didn't see a monkey came down out of the trees. He came swinging out of the trees and he grabbed the backpack and he grabbed the flashlight out of the backpack. Oh no, that monkey got their flashlight and he was swinging in the trees. And you know what he said? Oh, Rudy was not going to stand for that because Rudy is a great climber, just like a monkey. He can climb those rock walls just like a monkey. So Rudy jumped up on the tree and he climbed that tree just like a monkey and he started chasing that monkey down who had stolen his flashlight. And the monkey swung across the tree and Rudy swung across the tree and the monkey jumped and Rudy caught the rocks and Rudy caught the tree branches. Pretty soon that monkey started getting scared. Rudy was going to catch him, so he dropped the flashlight. So Rudy ran over and got the flashlight and everybody said, "Yay, Rudy got the flashlight." And they put it back in their backpack and they started going on down some more. But pretty soon they got to the edge of a cliff. That was a big cliff. They looked down. Some of them were a little bit afraid of heights, and that looked like a pretty big, scary cliff. And there was Roger who said, "No, that's not a high one. I jumped down higher than that. I can do that. I can jump right off that cliff. What I'm going to do is I'm going to jump down there because I'm a good jumper. I can jump and land just like a kangaroo. I'm going to jump down there and then I'll get all the leaves together and make a big pile so that you can jump down and land in all the soft leaves." And everybody said, "What a good idea, Roger." So Roger jumped down, whoop, just like a kangaroo, and he landed because he's a very good jumper. And he scooped up all the leaves and made a big pile. And the others could just jump, push, right into the pile. Oh, it was super fun. They wanted to do it again. It was so much fun. But they had to keep going on their adventure. So they kept on walking and they were talking about what a fun adventure they were having. And they weren't looking where they were going. And do you know what happened? The next thing you know, they stepped into a big giant hole. Just bam, right to the bottom of a big giant hole. Oh no! The tough kids were caught in a big giant hole. They jumped. They did their best jumping and they could not get out of the hole. There was just no way they could get out of that hole. They tried everything. They stood on top of each other and they reached and they just could not get out of that hole. So Noah started thinking, because he's a good thinker. He started thinking, I think I have a plan. He said, you boost me up, and you strong boys, you boost me up as high as you can, and I will jump with my long arms, because he's so tall, and he has very long arms. I will jump with my longest arm, and I will try to grab that branch that's sticking out in the hole right there. You boost me, and I will stretch, and then I am so strong that I will pull myself up on the branch and climb out of the hole. Well, that's a pretty good plan. So the boys and Sawyer got the back of him, and they lifted him up, and they pushed and lifted, and then they pushed him up, and he jumped, and with his long Noah arm, he grabbed that branch. He held on. Oh, it's hard to pull your whole big, strong body up with one arm, but Noah did it. And he pulled his body up to the top of that hill, and the top of that big hole, and he got out. And then he said, okay, now you guys all jump, and I'm going to hang the rope down, and I'm going to pull you up because I'm so strong. So he threw the rope down, and he pulled everyone up out of the hole with his big, strong muscles. And everybody said, yay for Noah, who has big, strong muscles. And the tough kids went out on their adventure again. Well, it was starting to get dark, and they weren't sure that they should be out after dark, so they decided they better walk home. So they started going back home. What a great adventure they had, when all of a sudden, some big, mean birds came out of the trees. And the big, mean birds got around, the whole circle around the tough kids, and they started squawking, squawk, 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 squawk. They wouldn't let the tough kids pass. The tough kids tried to go this way, and the birds were there. They tried to go this way, and the birds were there. They tried to go forward, and the birds were there. They tried to back up, and the birds were there. And the big circle of birds started closing in on the tough kids. Oh no, what should we do? What should we do? And the birds started squawking. Squawk, 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 squawk. And they started closing in on the tough kids. That's when they got an idea. Every night before bed, Sawyer has a dance party. And she dances to the music, and she is such a good dancer. And she has the dance moves, and all of the tough kids like to dance. They have dance moves. So Sawyer started dancing to the music of the birds squawking. And she started to snap her fingers and clap her hands, and she started to do her good dance moves. Well, pretty soon, Rudy jumps in, because Rudy has some good dance moves too. Pretty soon, Roger and Noah start dancing. And all the tough kids were dancing, and they were singing, and they were having a dance party. Well, you know what those birds do. All birds love a good dance party. So those birds started dancing, and they started squawking their beaks, and they started tapping their feet. And pretty soon, everyone was the best of friends, and they had a big dance party, and they all had a great time together. And then the tough kids said, okay, birds, we got to go, because we got to get home. So they ran home as fast as they could, and they snuck by, and there was Grandma, still sleeping in the chair. And the tough kids sneaked right by her, and they sat down and started playing, and Grandma woke up. Oh, there's my kids, still playing with their Legos. What good kids they are. And pretty soon home came their mommy and daddy, and their mommy and daddy said, oh, we had such a great adventure. Did you guys have fun too? And the tough kids smiled, and they said, yes, we did have fun. We had a lot of fun. And that's the end of the first adventure of the tough kids. They are the toughest, strongest, smartest kids in the whole wide world. The end.